All right, lots to get through. I'm going to jam a lot of information into this video, talking predominantly about the digital ID bill that just passed here in Australia. This is your King James Bible. There is a code in here from Genesis to Revelation, has been since the 1300s when chapters were added to the Bibles of that day and the verses were added in the 1500s. There's a code there in this book, this one book that you need to read, that reveals Barak Hussein Obama. This is inspired by God. If people just count, they will get wisdom. The 666th chapter of the Bible is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 from Genesis chapter 1. I'm calling this the headline from my evidence Bible. The value of practical wisdom, verse 27 of chapter 7. Ecclesiastes, the 666th chapter of the Bible. Behold this I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one, counting, to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. That's in verse 27. The next chapter, which is the 8th chapter, which would be the 667th chapter of the Bible, says, who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? These are questions. A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Now, when we compile this with Revelation 13:18, it's massive, right? The last mention of 666 in the Bible, the King James Bible, says, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for his number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. Digital ID. This film has all the answers. What happens when the numbers run out is the tagline here you can see. Filmed in Melbourne by Vic Screen at the Dockland Studio in 2009. It has the number of his name code, Barack Obama's code, throughout the whole film. The closing scene in the film shows the steps of Victoria's Parliament. It shows 2:16 p.m. on the clock radio in Nicolas Cage's car, driving to his father's house, who happens to be a pastor, church pastor, Christian church pastor in the film, who lives at number 48. 21648. This is the bill for the digital ID that just passed. The number's 21648. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. Barack Obama born on the 4th of the 8th, the 216th day of the year. It's simple as that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. The value of practical wisdom. Behold, this I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account which my soul seeketh, but I find not. Have you found it yet? I've found it. Have you found it? Who is as the wise man? Who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's faith, wisdom, maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. Now let's get into some nitty-gritty of how this all works. Firstly, I want to tackle this. The Treasurer of Australia, during the budget, the recent budget, said this, Jim Chalmers. He invoked the number 215, not the number 216, but the number 215. How so? He said, on our watch, sitting in front of Albanese, this is on my Facebook page, there's a video for it. On our watch, the budget is $215 billion stronger over the 6 years to 2027, 2028. I'll say that again. Jim Chalmers, quoting, on our watch, the budget is $215 billion stronger over the 6 years to 2027, 2028. Why did he say that? Why? What's significant about the number 215? What's significant about the number coming years 2027 to 2028? Well, if you've been watching anything on my Rumble channel, my YouTube videos, you would know that in 2028, February 4th, Obama hits his last 66th and 6th month, 66th year and 6th month, 666th milestone of his life before he turns 70, before he enters into the 7th decade of his life, which would be 4th of the 8th, 2031. And we're told that the 666 man is coming he's here. And it just turns out that everything as being in Australia, the pension, Australian pension age changed, is all mapped out. The digital ID to February 4th, 2028, the milestone, Obama's 66th year and 6th month milestone. It's happening. All right, getting back to 215. Why did Jim Chalmers evoke 215? If you go looking for, now, if people, the 7 people over 18 months that have bought my book globally might know this. The 215th chapter of the Bible of Genesis, from Genesis reading on, is Judges 4. There are 3 mentions of the name Barak, the character Barak. He's a commander of Deborah's army, a good guy. He did good things. He was working for the Lord ultimately. The 215th chapter is Judges 4. It's the first mention of Barak, where Barak got his name from. It's all in my book. It's a little bit of detail to understand that Barak is derived from the Hebrew word name Barak. It is. 216th chapter is the very next chapter, Judges 5, obviously, which is the second mention of Barak. The third and final mention of Barak in the Bible is Hebrews 11, which happens to be the 215th chapter of the New Testament. So the first mention of Barak is the 215th chapter of the Old Testament, and the third mention of Barak in the New Testament is the 215th chapter of the New Testament. This is why Jim Chalmers evoked the number 215, and that said this strange comment that we've saved $215 billion on our watch. We are, saved it. We're stronger, $215 billion stronger over the next, to 2028, over the next 6 years. You're starting to see what he was invoking Obama. This is all about Obama. Numbers, economics. Revelation 13 says, no man shall buy or sell. That's economics. That's commerce. That's the global financial system. The Twin Towers came crashing down. They were the 2 towers of all world trade, destroyed in 1 hour, in a couple of hours. You're starting to see how this all works. Now, between Judges 4, the first mention, the 215th chapter of the book of the King James Bible of the Old Testament, to the last mention, the third mention of Barak, 215th chapter of the New Testament, there are 930 chapters separating Judges 4 and Hebrews 11. 930 simply equals 666 plus 48 plus 216. Pull a calculator out. Add up 666 plus 216 plus 48. It equals 930. There are 930 chapters between Judges 4 and Hebrews 11. First mention of Barak and the third mention of Barak. All right, I'll continue this. I've got folders and folders of compiled information brimming at the ears after doing this for 15 years with facts, figures, tangible evidences that you too can do with one of these in your possession. Go on the Wikipedia page and look up the chapters and verses. One of my King James Bibles has, even in the contents, it numbers how many chapters are in each book from Genesis to Revelation. Makes it real easy. You don't even need to go to Wikipedia if you have a Bible that has that. To all my fans and the people that understand me, thank you so much. Yeah, really, there's nobody out there. Thanks for listening.